Jeff, I've admired him for a long, long time and watched what he was doing, but I did not think that he could succeed on the scale he has, and I certainly didn't think about the possibility of doing anything with Amazon Web Services or the cloud. So if you'd asked me the chances that while he was building up the retail operation, that he would also be doing something that was disrupting the tech industry, that would have been a very, very long shot for me. I've really underestimated the brilliance of the execution. I mean, it's one thing to dream about doing this stuff online, but it takes a lot of ability. And you know, you can read his 1997 annual report, and he laid out a roadmap, and he's done it in spades. And if you haven't seen his interview on Charlie Rose 3 or 4 months ago, charlierose.com, go to and listen to it, because you'll learn a lot. At least I did. It always looked expensive, and I really never thought that he would be where he is today. I thought he was really brilliant, but I did not think he would be where he is today when I looked at it 3, 5, 8, 12 years ago, whatever it may have been. Charlie, how did you miss it?
It was easy. What was done there was very difficult, and it was not at all obvious that it was all going to work as well as it did. I don't feel any regret about missing out on the achievements of Amazon, but other things were easier, and I think we screwed up a little.
We won't pursue that line.
Well, I meant Google.
Well, we missed a lot of things.
Yes.
We missed a lot of things.
And we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Berkshire is not going to out-Bezos Jeff Bezos.
That is for sure.
What did you mean by that? What were you talking about?
Well, I mean that there's certain people that you do not want to try and beat at their own game, and certainly Jeff Bezos would be number one. I mean, that they've taken fairly ordinary things. I mean, starting buying books and but Fred Smith took the airplane and the delivery truck and the postal service, but then he just put it together in a very imaginative way, with a central hub and all that, and came up with a whole new industry out of components that were known to everybody. And in a sense, Bezos has done the same thing. Now he's building big distribution centers and employing the latest technology. The Kindle came out of there, and there's some products, but overwhelmingly, he's taken things that you and I were buying before, and he's figured out a way to make us happier buying those products, either by fast delivery or prices or whatever it may be. And that's remarkable when you think about it.
I mean, a lot of that comes down to just focusing on what the customer wants.
All he thinks about is he wants the customer to have a smile on their face. Now, that's been true of other retailers. I mean, that is not something that R.H. Macy didn't think, or Marshall Field, or Bernard Gimble, or all these people. But he knew how to do it, in 1997 in a way that nobody else had come up with. And I'm sure his ideas even evolved as he was doing it. But he laid out his objectives in his first annual report. And you could just read them. I mean, his competitors could read them. And he has changed the world in a big way.
When you talk about his game, I mean, it's harder and harder to really identify what his game is. It's retailing, it's online retailing, but so much of Amazon's huge profits from the last go-around came from AWS, from the cloud.
And that's incredible, because he developed that over a 6 or 7 year period, and everybody else sat and watched. I mean, here was a guy that was a business genius, and he's coming out with something big, and his competitors, to a large extent, just sort of ignored it. I mean, they gave him a lead time, which was very, very dramatic. I actually sat next to him at a birthday party for someone, and he told me how surprised he was that he didn't get more reaction quicker.
You mentioned Amazon as a game changer, and I have to ask you, you haven't bought the stock. You're an admirer of Jeff Bezos. A listing of the richest people in America came out. He's number one. I think your friend Bill Gates is number 2. You're number 3. So you can see what he's done in myriad ways. Yeah. And of course, the question is, how come you haven't bought Amazon? Is there still time to buy? Would you still buy it?
Oh, I always admired Jeff. I mean, I met him 20 years ago or so. And I thought he was something special, but I didn't realize you could go from books to what's happened there. No, I mean, he had a vision and executed it in an incredible way. But there's a lot of games I miss. I would have missed, I would have missed Microsoft even if I gotten to know Bill earlier or something. Those just aren't my games. I don't worry about the things that I miss that are outside my circle of competence of evaluating. I have missed things that were within my circle, And that's a terrible mistake. Those are my biggest mistakes. You haven't seen them. It's not a mistake because I miss Netscape or something like that at all. I would say that maybe 5% of the companies or 10% of the companies at most are within an area of my circle of competence. There's something I should be able to understand. With Amazon, he said, we needed the internet. Somebody else spent billions of dollars developing it, but it wouldn't have worked without the internet. He said, we needed transportation. Somebody else had already built railroads and UPS and all of that sort of thing. And he said, we needed payment systems. It's brilliant. I give him great credit for it.
You have talked extensively over the last several days, even the last several months, about how Jeff Bezos is the best business leader you think we have right now in the United States, about how Amazon is a brilliant company. And now you're talking about how it's one of 5 companies that take no capital to continue to build. How come you don't buy shares of Amazon?
Stupidity. I was impressed with Jeff early. I never thought he could pull off what he did. He's done it in 2 industries almost simultaneously that really don't have that much connection. I've never seen any person develop 2 really important industries at the same time and really be the operational guy in both. And he's done a good job with the Washington Post on the side, just not personally. But here you take cloud services. I mean, and there was a Charlie Rose show on this that he did 3 or 4 months ago. He thought he would have 2 years of runway. He got 7 years. You do not want to give Jeff Bezos a 7-year head start
before the competitors jumped in
any
on cloud
economic
services.
race. So at the same time he's shaking up the whole retail world. He's also shaking up the IT world simultaneously, and I take my hat off to him.
But by not buying shares right now, it suggests that you think maybe they're too rich, or is it that you don't understand the company's valuation?
It's a big valuation. It's very hard when you thought about something at 1/10 the price to buy it. But we do it occasionally, and you're talking now about getting multiples from the hundreds of billions. And but if you told me that you were going to shoot me at the end of 10 years if a short worked out better than a long, I mean, I would take the long side. I'm not buying any, but these are powerful ideas with big potential, and he's executed.